Sinful to Pete was well known for letting you know and reminding you regularly that standards will protect you. And that statement is as real as it gets. We're going to swan dive into that statement right now and break that thing down. But first, wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Let's go.
If you want all this pimping you can't afford, perform like a punk but want a winner's reward. Some suckers give you points but bitch you never scored. If you ain't paying pimping then bitch you getting ignored.
Okay.
I'm so sick of these.
Another thing Sinful let y'all know that is for sure, beyond the shadow of a doubt, 100% correct, is that pimps have standards. Unfortunately, it's a lot of guys in the game who don't have very many standards, and some guys don't have no damn standards at all. But standards definitely protect you. So we're going to talk about what standards can protect you from, and then we're going to talk about what type of standards you should have. So, hey man, one thing for sure that standards will protect you from is incarceration. You know, getting your freedom snatched from you, man. You know, when you don't have standards, like I say all the time, when you stand for less, you fall for more. And when you don't stand for thoroughly getting to know and understand the type of ladies that you putting yourself around, you fall for, you know, things that will land you in jail. And this doesn't go only for guys in the streets, you know, involved in criminal activity or illegal activity. This can go for squares, and you don't have to be a celebrity. You know, this can go for, you know, all different kinds of guys. Man, you know, I know guys who, because they didn't have the right kind of standards for themselves as men, as well as pimps, who ended up losing their freedom, you know, catching domestic violence cases because they let the wrong type of woman around them. Right. And, you know, just inconveniencing themselves in the worst of ways, you know, end up having to do time, end up being on probation. Now you got these people in your business that you got to answer to and adhere to their rules. And no grown man wants to go through that type of bullshit. No grown man wants to be in a situation where somebody is telling you where you can and cannot go, telling you what you can and cannot do, when to do it, how to do it. Nobody wants to deal with that type of shit. And having a lack of standards when it comes to the type of women that you putting in your life can, you know, leave you unguarded when it comes to risking your freedom. A lot of y'all putting your freedom on the crap table by the type of women that you putting yourself around. You know, so that's definitely something that standards will protect you from, is the type of women that will land you in incarceration. Another thing that standards will definitely protect you from is diseases, STDs, STIs, whatever you want to call them. Man, I'm so grateful that I have standards. And, you know, there's been times where, you know, my standards wasn't all the way up to par when it came to that. But I'm so grateful that now, at this point in my life, that I have standards, you know, when it comes to how I conduct myself in the bedroom. You know, and when I say standards, I'm not talking about only the appearance of things, because you might look at certain women and think that based on their appearance, you know, they might be kind of risky to deal with. They might, you know, potentially put you at risk. But, you know, on the other hand, there are some very beautiful women that can definitely put you at risk. I'm talking about beautiful, aesthetically, well put together, and the whole nine, right? So, you know, you just have to have standards when it comes to that as well. And your standards have to be based on more than just the outward appearance of things, right? So that, and another thing that standards can definitely protect you from, and man, it's a lot of cats to be falling for this too, and that is, getting robbed for your possessions, your material items, or getting robbed for your life. There are certain women that when you don't have the right kind of standards and you let them up and around you, that will put you at risk of losing your money, your materials, or your life. This happens far too much. It didn't happen to pimps. It didn't happen to squares. And it's still happening all the time. It's been happening and it's still happening, right? And this is something else that, excuse my pimping, something else that standards will protect you from. It's certain individuals, man, that, I've seen fall to these types of things because they just, they don't have the right kind of standards. So what are some of the right kind of standards, right? Well, for the pimping, right? It's obvious that in order for a 304 to get with a pimp, she has to have some money. She has to break the pimping off. But you see, a lot of guys, that is their only standard to get around them. As long as a chick got some money, she can be scandalous, she can be dirty, she can be disloyal, she can be whatever. She could be short, tall, fat, skinny, ugly, pretty. A lot of cats say, that's common to say in the game, pretty is as pretty does. But hey, man, it takes more to do pretty than just have some money. If pretty is as pretty does, then it takes more for a chick to do pretty and be pretty than just some money. But for a lot of guys, the money makes her pretty enough to be accepted and respected. But, as I've said before, for the sake of some money, a lot of dudes have, are still right now walking around with a chick that's gonna put charges on you, introducing your family to a chick that's gonna put charges on you, walking around, even sleeping around somebody that's gonna, set you up to have your freedom snatched, or, your material snatched, or your life snatched, introducing these people to your family, or, somebody that's gonna put your health at risk in the bedroom, right? For the lack of the right standards. So, hey, man, a wise man is going to go down there to that clinic, man, and get tested. You dig? When you're getting involved with somebody, hey, let's go to the clinic. Let's go get tested together, right? It's not hard. And I know, some places are, kind of costly depending on where you are. But hey, man, I'm pretty sure that in most places, there's places that are either cheap or free depending on, where you are and how you go about things. But the bottom line is, man, go get tested. That's something that's not really promoted very much. Shit, not just in the game, even in the square world. I don't really hear no content creators talking about, people going to get tested. You hear all these people talk about relationships and giving you all this dating advice and relationship advice and marriage advice and all this different shit. But I don't really be hearing nobody talk about going to get tested, though. Go get tested and take the chick with you. You dig? That's going to save you from risking your health and risking the health of the people that you get involved with, because just like you don't want to put yourself at risk, you don't want to put anybody that you're involved with at risk either. So that's the beautiful thing about going to get tested, man. And nowadays, when it comes to the HIV, you know, they got rapid results. You get the results before you even leave the building. You get an email, or you get if you got the MyChart thing, you log in and your results is right there before you even leave the building, or shortly thereafter leaving the building. Basically the same day, right? Usually when I go get tested, man, that the HIV results is there in like 20 minutes. They there right away, right? So go get tested, man. And then, you know, when it comes to putting your freedom at risk or putting your well-being at risk, you know, because not only will chicks set you up to get locked up, chicks will set you up to get stuck up as well, right? You know, a lot of these chicks be having little jacker boyfriends and all type of stuff, man. And, you know, the pimping be falling for tricks, man. Like Mac Dre say, going for it, falling for mind tricks. Man, cats will let a chick give them $500 just so she can get up and around him and figure out the layout of what he got going on, so she can rob him for $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, right? So she gonna get that little 500 back, or even 1,000. You know, just so she can get up and around you and relieve you of your jewelry, or relieve you of that bankroll once she figure out where you put it. Cats be slipping, man. You know, so to avoid that, you know, again, standards. One standard that you should have as a man is positioning women to earn your trust, right? Now, this is specific to individuals and specific to situations. So how you position somebody to earn your trust depends on the individual and the situation, right? And, you know, that can vary in so many different ways. But if you give a damn about your life, and you give a damn about your possessions, and you give a damn about your freedom, you will figure a way out, right? See, I know a lot of y'all waiting for me to tell you, like, okay, Freeze, tell me, you know what I mean? How do I position a woman to earn my trust in that type of way? Hey, man, I'm like Sway. I don't have the answers. I got the answers for myself, but, you know, like I say all the time, man, one thing I want to do with this platform is help you to think better, right? And a lot of y'all seek answers, and you get answers from different parts of the internet, but when somebody gives you the answers to certain things, certain questions, you know, you don't really think beyond, you know, like I say all the time, satisfied needs no longer motivate. So when you're satisfied with the answers to certain questions, you're not motivated to think better or think beyond those answers, right? Whereas if you have the right kind of thinking, the right kind of mindset, you know, you'll be prepared to deal with any kind of situation, because you know that train of thought is universal as opposed to just a particular answer to a particular question, right? So just think about what's important to you: your freedom, your material possessions, your money, your life. Think about how important that is to you, and then think about, you know, how you don't want to just let anybody have access to that. And then that'll help you figure out how to position somebody to earn access to those things when it comes to you, right? But the bottom line, man, standards definitely protect you. Standards are like a punk-proof vest, a sucker-proof vest, a buster-proof vest. Yeah, this gonna protect you from all suckers, busters, and punks. So, arm yourself, guard yourself with standards. They're going to take you a long way, safely and securely. You dig? Let that marinate on your mind one time. Freezes it. Go ahead, put some of this good old love in your body like so. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out. Dig this. I've been stroking relentless, took in waves like this. I spoke into existence for her to pay like this. In the trenches on a day like this, traffic consistent, and so I have to insist that she relay my chips. It's a trap with her name on it and my game on it. Any forces coming against this game, shame on it. Standing on my pimpin' from day one and remain on it. It carried me through every terrain and I gained on it. Experience joy and pain on it, sustained on it.
But getting back to this game that I never left.
Hey, yeah, where you been?